Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am the OPJellicent, and I have our draft analysis for Season 6 of the WPL, the Western Pokemon League. I hope you guys enjoyed the new thumbnail. We got a rebrand done recently by Bill Standish, so he'll be the first link in the description. He was really helpful, but anyway, I'm going to try to not keep this too long. I figured this was the perfect time to restart the WPL, since IBA is obviously ending off on the channel soon. You guys will see our conference final match within the coming few days, and if we win that, then we'll move on to finals, but yeah, I figured with the Ultra Sun and Moon release and the IBA just ending, this would be the perfect time to restart the WPL. So in the description of this video, we also have a link to the WPL Twitter and YouTube. I highly recommend you go follow the Twitter and subscribe to the YouTube. We'll be doing some shows over on the YouTube channel, and we post a ton of updates on the WPL Twitter. And also be sure to go ahead and check out all the other coaches who will also be linked down below in the description. You definitely should go ahead and do that, since I'm sure you guys want to follow some other matches as well. We have some really good battlers around this season, so let's go ahead and give them a look at least. But let's go ahead and get right into it. As I said, I don't want to keep this too long, but let's start off with rounds 1 through 6. Going into round 1, we got Mega Latios. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. This is not Kyurem Black. This is a different dragon, a different round 1 dragon, but we have the Latios set right here. Obviously, really good dragon, can go physical or special, gets a ton of coverage with, I believe, Ice Beam, obviously dual stabs, it gets Energy Ball, Earthquake for the physical side, it can even be a Dragon Dance user, and I believe it is also a hazard control option since it does get defog, so that's great. Some other great options are obviously Reflect type. I do have some cool sets that I have saved in the back for this thing, and I'm not going to spoil them in this video because I don't want my opponents to know what they are. So that's pretty much all I'm going to say about Mega Latios. Just a really versatile Pokemon that can do really well. But going into round number 2, I actually had the, I believe, 5th overall pick, and I was really surprised to see Manaphy going still on the board because after Mega Latios, there was like 20-something picks in between, but I guess Manaphy just never got snatched up, so that was my next pick right here. This is also our Z Captain, so it can use any Z move besides Omni Boosts, so obviously great Mon, base 100 around the board, obviously 0 attack. I was wondering that was why that IV was lower, but anyway, it's really great. Z Captain can run Z Rain Dance, obviously, and even Z Tail Glow if your stats are lowered. I believe that's what Z Tail Glow does. It gets rid of stat drops, but obviously, as I said, Tail Glow, really great coverage with Scald, Surf, any of those water type moves. Energy Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Ice Beam, or Blizzard, depending on how much power you need. And Psychic for poison types, namely Tentacruel and Mega Venusaur, who this mon would pretty much struggle with if it didn't have that Psychic. Even gets U-Turn if you want to be cheeky, and yeah, just a really great mon under, I'll get to Sticky Webs later, but it's a great mon under Sticky Webs. But going into round number 3, I really wanted a physical attacker, since these two are primarily special attackers. You can run Dragon Dance Mega Latios, but I figured who better than Mamoswine. Gives me a Stealth Rocker to start off here in the early rounds. Gets Thick Fat, so it doesn't really care about opposing ice types or fire types. Well, it does care about fire types because it's obviously weak, but once again, really great mon under Webs. If you're going Adamant Life Orb, this thing can run through a ton of rosters. And Stealth Rocks is obviously really useful against, especially with the team like, there's so many prevalent ice types and fire types around now that you really want Stealth Rocks. And yeah, I really think Mamoswine can do a ton of work. It gets even Freeze Dry to hit stuff like Gastrodon and Bulky Waters. Obviously, won't do the most work since most bulky waters will only take around 30 to 40%, but it'll at least force recovery at the most, so that's great. Get Sleep Talk if we want to use it as some sleep fodder, and some nice coverage too. Gets rock coverage, fighting coverage. I believe that's the most extent to it gets, but it's Knockoff too. Obviously, Knockoff is great, but that's really the big deal going on there with Mamoswine. But this was the pick that I was really excited for. Galvantula, the OG web setter. I believe Galvantula was the first mon to get Sticky Webs, maybe a few others when X and Y was released, but I really wanted Webs to pair up with these three. Under Webs, these three can really rip through some teams, especially Manaphy with the Tail Glow boosted attacks, but obviously get some great abilities. Swarm if you want to take advantage of the Focus Sash, obviously. Unnerve if you're worried about opposing berries, and Compound Eyes to hit Thunders, but yeah, really great web setter. If you can outspeed things, then you don't even have to run Sash. You can just run Scarf Sticky Web or just Offensive Sticky Web, but mostly you'll be seeing Sash. Get some great moves right here. Even gets Sucker Punch for a priority in case you're facing some frailer mons, and pretty much all it's here to do is get up webs and then do whatever else work it can. It can even get Thunder Wave if you want to Thunder Wave something, and then get webs up next turn, since you'll probably end up being faster with the T-Wave speed drop on your opponent, obviously. So yeah, that's all we have going on with Galvantula right here, and yeah, lots of special attackers, but I think we solve that problem later, as you guys are going to see. Yet another special attacker, Ghost type, the Ghost type Gengar. I think I had it last season, or maybe the season before that, but Gengar always does work. Specs, Scarf, those are all great options. It's also a Z, an offensive Z move user, so it can't run anything but offensive Z moves, but I don't really know what it would want to run besides offensive Z moves, to be honest. It gets Haze, I guess, but Haze is just to eliminate stat changes, but it gets a ton of utility too with Pain Split and Knockoff, in case you want to run those. And then it gets a ton of coverage on the special side, obviously. Stab with Shadow Ball, I believe it gets Thunderbolt, maybe Giga Drain, yep. And Psychic is a really great option, Sludge Wave for its other stab, obviously. T-Bolt, I think I might have mentioned that, but yeah, just a really great mon. Even a Taunt user, which is great to stop some bulky setup sweepers on the opposing side, like Megalodi, Mew. But yeah, that's pretty much all we have going on with Gengar right here. And then finally, our second physical wall breaker for the squad. We have Emboar right here, another fire type that I've actually never used. I believe I've used Arcanine for my fire type most of the times, and Entei a lot too, but I figured I wanted a firefighting type, and I saw Miguel, back when he played, do a ton of work with this Mamoswine Emboar dual, I guess, physical offensive core right here, so yeah, really great mon. It can be banded, gets priority with Sucker Punch to hit Psychic types, which threaten it, which is really great, and it can even be run special if you really want, and obviously get some physical coverage, Poison Jab, Low Kick, oh, I guess Low Kick is stab, Iron Head to hit fairies, but really you're just going to be running Flare Blitz, superpower kind of thing, with maybe Sucker Punch if you want. Also is a really great Sleep Fodder mon because it gets Sleep Talk, so we don't really have to worry about opposing like Amoonguss or Mega Venusaur. This thing can switch in on those really nicely. Gets Wild Charge too for bulky waters, which is something to keep in mind. Definitely don't want to forget about that. And another Taunt user, so that's really great. I'm glad we have that going on for us. But let's go ahead and get into round numbers, I believe 7 through 11. I think I might have it as, oh, okay, I guess I have it as 5 through 11. Let's correct that. But going into the round number 7, I really wanted a Steel type to pair up with my Megalodi. Megalodi obviously does not appreciate fairies, and Ferrothorn can definitely handle those. Even though most fairies are on HP Fire, you can go Orca Berry and just deal with that. I've run Orca Berry for Chris a lot. We also didn't have a Grass type either, and it's another physical attacker, but really all it wants to do is set up a Rocks, Spikes, go for Leech Seed, and that kind of thing. So it even gets Knockoff for some nice utility right there, and yeah, like I said, it's really just a bulky Steel type that I wanted to pair up. Doesn't do great in webs, but we don't always have to run webs. We can bring like a more bulkier team with Ferrothorn and Granbull, and then some offensive mons, some bulkier offensive mons like Latios, Manaphy, if we really want to do that. But yeah, that's really it with Ferrothorn. I also really needed a Fairy, obviously, and Granbull was still on the board, and it was tier 4, so I figured I would scoop that up. Really great physical attack stat. Not the best speed, but under webs it might be able to do something with like a choice band set, but that's not something I plan to run that often. Really just want to run the bulky Intimidate set to stop opposing fighting types and opposing dark types. You can even go like Spidef Assault Vest if you're really weak to an opposing dark type, but yeah, I figured Granbull was the most budget fairy we could pick up right here. Also provides us with a nice Cleric, is a Roar user, and so it gets really nice coverage too. I believe it gets Earthquake, Stone Edge, Player Off for stab, obviously, and some elemental punches, so that's great for Granbull. And Intimidates obviously just makes it a lot bulkier than it appears to be with these defensive stats. And it's like one of the 2 or 3 Mega Lopunny switch-ins. Well, I guess there's a lot more considering all the Psychic types, but yeah, it's a really great Mega Lopunny answer, which my team so far, as you can see, kind of struggled with, but that's alright. Next up, we have these 2 really offensive fighting types. I'm just going to cover them both at the same time because they pretty much kind of do the same thing, I guess, in the special and physical side. But Exploud was tier 4, Bouffalant was tier 5. They're both really hard, hard-hitting normal types with Boom Burst, Exploud, and Head Charge Bouffalant. Head Charge is super strong, boosted by the Reckless, and we don't even have to worry about missing it because it is 100% accurate. So Head charge is obviously a really great option there. Boom burst over here. Once again, really nice sleep fodder with sleep talk. Really, you want your sleep fodder to be something that really hits hard, so that way you can just click sleep talk and throw off a big hit. And we have Scrappy to hit ghost types, obviously. Can run specs. It can even run like substitute. Well, substitute's not the item. Leftovers, I guess, would be the item with substitute, and then it gets some nice setup submission, but setup options with I believe workup. It gets. Let's check that. Yep, it does get workup, so sub workup could be a thing. And yeah, just a really great hard-hitting mon that I figured could also do a ton of work under sticky webs. So really, I decided to build most of the team around webs. We just have some bulkier mons right here. And then Bouffalant gets a ton of coverage. Bouffalant is our other offensive Z-move user. With obviously Breakneck Blitz, it gets a ton of other coverage. Gets Earthquake, I believe. Maybe Stone Edge, yep. And Mega Horn, Iron Head, Poison Jab, Outrage. It's a Pursuit Trapper too. I believe it's even another Taunt user. Yep, gets Taunt. And if you don't want to click Head Charge and take all that recoil, you can run Return or Frustration. So yeah, really a pretty good budget normal type in tier 5. It even gets Steel coverage. Well, I guess it got Iron Head, but not the best speed stat, but we can outspeed base 100s and even like 105s under sticky webs if we do go max speed Jolly, which is definitely a plan. And yeah, just a really great offensive Z-move user. And then finally, to round it up, I decided to go with Xatu. Questionable choice since I already have like Psychic type that floats and gets defog obviously as well, but I figured Xatu is a nice option. It gets a U-turn, it gets access to Magic Bounce just to further hinder the opponent from getting up hazards. And obviously I don't want the opponent getting up hazards when I want to try to keep my webs up. I don't want to defog my own webs away, so I figured that's worth it. If I find that these two overlap too much and I really want to bring one or the other every week, I might free agent it away later, but we'll see about that. And yeah, that's really it. Let's see what else this thing gets. Gets Plane Split, Nightshade for just solid damage. If you, it's obviously not the strongest mon, but get some coverage with Dazzling Gleam and Heat Wave. And yeah, that's really it for the draft. I'm really excited to see how it goes. Once again, be sure to check out all the other coaches' links down below in the description, and I hope you guys are excited for the season and how we do so far. We made it just short of finals last season. We lost in the semifinals, but we did win seasons 3 and 4, so let's see if we can pick up another title. And I will see you guys for week 1, which will go up on Sunday, December 10th, and I hope you guys are also excited for the IBA conference finals, which should be going up pretty soon. So yeah, if you guys are new, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!